What's going on, beautiful people? So check this out. If you are a veteran, you are in the right place because we are on our third video for our loan series, and we're talking about, you guessed it, the VA loan. So if you guys don't know by now, this is my lending, mortgage, all finance go-to, Nick Vargas with Appli Home Loans, and we're going to get into the VA loan and this particular product that is specifically for you as a veteran. So Nick, let's start off in regards to the down payment benefit that the VA loan has.
It's the best product out there.
Yeah.
So VA is no money down. So zero down if you are a veteran and you have access to your eligibility for your VA loan. So $0 down, out of pocket. You can get a gift for the closing costs. Seller can cover your closing costs, and you can be out of pocket essentially no money.
And it's such a cool loan, and it's a great way to give back to the people that have served. But in addition to not having any down payment needed, what about these loan limits that you have? Say I want to buy a $700,000 home, $800,000. Some of these loans we have loan limits. Talk to us about if the VA has something like that.
Sure. So it used to. As of a few years ago, they updated it. There's now no limit. So if there is a veteran that wants to buy a home for $3 million, for example, they can do so with zero down.
Wow. Say that one more time. I don't think they heard that.
Rewind that.
Yes.
If they want to buy a home for, let's say, $3 million, even up to $5 million, some of our lenders will do that. No money down.
That is absolutely insane, and once again, extreme value for the people who have served for us. And the reason why I love this loan and doing it and working with you with it is your company specifically has some things that you guys offer that other companies don't necessarily offer. So can you go into that as well?
Yeah, so we call it Appli Vets. My spouse is a vet, my business partner's family has veterans in it, and it's important to us as a company and culture to give back to the veterans and thank them for their service. So what we do as a company is we took the stance of a veteran won't pay for an appraisal with us. We cover that expense. So it's not a, hey, you pay it now, I'll reimburse you kind of thing. It's just we pay.
Right. And that's absolutely additional value that you guys are already getting in. And Nick can't talk about, competitors and all that stuff. I would love for him to talk about competitors, but
the show's not long enough.
But what you can say, what kind of, separates them from, hey, I'm going to use Appli Home Loans, or I'm going to use this next, other person or company?
So a few things. So a lot of times, like when we get calls from listing agents, when clients are making offers on their homes with our pre-approval, they'll ask us, hey, is this going to take longer because it's VA? It's not conventional. I heard other retail lenders nearby take 45 days for VA, or they're more picky, or whatever it may be. A lot of that stuff is myths. Like there's no additional underwriting times because it's VA. They move just as quick. So with us, it's like we're closing every VA loan in under 30 days. Our average close time is about 14 days across the board, business days. And so when it comes to VA, there's no difference in underwriting time. A VA buyer is no less stronger than a conventional buyer. That message is for all my listing agents out there. Their loans are just as solid.
Boom. And like we've been talking about, the FHA loan and the conventional loan for our veterans, what's the credit score? Once again, we've had that kind of magic number that we're going to get the most benefit. What is that for the VA loan?
So with VA, the sweet spot as far as like getting the most competitive rates, or at least really close to that, is going to be that same as FHA. 640 is really that sweet spot. Under 640, still some great options out there. We do go as low as 500, just like FHA on VA as well. But again, many factors to that.
Right. And there's some things that, I know they've researched and heard about the VA loan in regards to how many of these can I use? I'm getting moved all across the country. I buy one in Florida and then I got to move 3 years to Colorado. Can I still use my VA loan? How does that work?
So this is a very common question. A lot of myths out there about this. So a lot of folks think you can only use it once or only own one home at a time under a VA loan, and that is false. you can have more than one VA at the same time. So VA gives a veteran what's called entitlement.
Okay.
And that entitlement is what they're going to use when purchasing that home. So when they're buying their first, it's no money down up to unlimited loan amount, right? So our largest we can go is $5 million. So
Right.
$5 million, no money down. Let's say somebody buys a home for $300,000.
Yeah.
They kept that home, now they want to buy a new primary utilizing their VA again. We would do a calculation on a worksheet that figures out how much entitlement's remaining, and that's how much they can spend on their next home with no money down.
Boom.
Now let's say that amount was $300,000 for
Right.
their second one, hypothetically, and the home they like is $400,000.
Right.
It doesn't mean you can't do the product. The veteran would have to put a down payment from the difference of how much we can finance to how much the home costs. So if the home is $400,000, but they can finance $300,000 no money down, they'd put down a percentage of the $100,000 difference.
Gotcha.
So it'd be a smaller down payment, and they can still buy something that's more expensive, even if they don't have the entitlement remaining.
And that's something that I was oblivious to until Nick told me that, because it is something common. And once again, I've been in the industry 8 years, and I still had that thought that you couldn't do something like that. So that's really cool.
Definitely can.
And then something that is very interesting that you've also, Nick has always educated me on these things. So we were talking about refinancing, specifically for FHA loan, refinancing into conventional for some perks.
Yep.
There's some perks in regards to refinancing out of VA loans,
Absolutely.
right?
So VA refis is probably one of the easiest refis you can go through. So as you know, when getting a mortgage, you got to provide W-2s, pay stubs, all kinds of documentation. With a VA refinance, there's something called a VA IRL, which is only for interest rate reduction loan. Okay, so with a VA IRL, there's essentially minimal documents needed. By minimal, I mean like your current insurance policy and your driver's license. That's basically it. There's no income needed. There's no appraisal needed. They fly through, and it's solely for the purpose of reducing your interest rate. So it's a streamlined loan, essentially.
Wow, man. And listen,
Super simple.
Listen, guys, we mean this when we say this. Our contact information is going to be down here. You have any questions, like Nick was saying, we could be here for an hour, and I know you guys don't have that time, but please reach out. It's literally a free consultation to see how we can, utilize this for you and your family so you guys can take advantage of it, especially in this market. These products like this is what is going to separate you guys from the competition and get you in the home. So reach out, don't hesitate. We are here to help, and always know in real estate there are only 2 people, but we have Nick here today that can get you exactly what you want. Okay, that's B and you.